So we bought a lot of pairs. I would say close to 20 pairs maybe. I could be wrong about that, but we did buy a lot. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to episode 77 of going from $100 all the way up to $100,000. Now in this episode we have a grand total of $8,685.44. Now that's just in pure cash that we have. We have like tens of thousands of dollars in our inventory alone of sneakers. And if you're new here, we're gonna go over our whole inventory at the very end of the episode. Plus everything we sold will also be listed at the end of the video, so stick tuned till then. We sold a decent amount of stuff this episode, but with that being said, it's still Air Max week, so possibly we can find some like Air Maxes at Champs on sale, maybe even Foot Locker. I'm not 100% sure though. So with that being said, let's waste no more time, hit up some stores and see what we can pick up today. Perfect. Okay, we are back, and honestly we got a decent amount of stuff. There was a lot of Air Max Pluses that were on sale. We picked up a crazy amount of pairs of those just because they were on sale for $129.99, which brings it to around 136 bucks, but they've been selling for like 180, so that's a really good pickup. We got thousands of dollars worth of those ones alone. However, starting off, we got some more of these Air Max ones in this blue denim colorway. We picked up a few of them last episode, but there were some more at the Nike outlet. They still had some stuff 30% off, so this is one of the things we picked up for that 30% off. But other than that, there really wasn't that much. The 2017s actually got removed from 30% off, which is unfortunate because they were doing very well for us. But yeah, nothing too crazy. Next up, they had these pairs of Air Max 90s. They weren't 30% off, unfortunately. I'm not too sure how well this is gonna look on camera considering my green screen is green and this is also a green, but this is more like a dark green. We paid $119 for this pair. We got a decent amount of pairs. Again, all these will be listed at the end of the video for the exact size and everything, but this pair is a little bit different. It is a reflective pair. I'm not too sure how well this shows on camera, but right here has a bunch of little swooshes that go all around the shoe, and once you hit it with a camera flash or anything, these will pop out like crazy. So yeah, you can already kind of see it going on camera considering I have a light back there, but you can see all this glowing that's going on. That's because of the reflective material. And yeah, these surprisingly are going for a crazy amount of money. These are like probably one of the better things we picked up today. Next up, we got these Air Force One lows. Comes with this box, like the super generic Air Force box, not any of the special like gray or black boxes, just this box, which is really surprising for the shoe itself because I'm pretty sure this is again anniversary colorway. It is this university blue colorway, and if you can tell by the shoe what's hanging off, it does come with a little toothbrush on the shoe. Pretty cool details. It is an anniversary pair, like I said. On the tongue, I don't know how well you guys can see this, but it does say anniversary edition, so very surprising that the box isn't anything special considering it is an anniversary pair. However, with that being said, the box paper is a little bit different, as you can see here. Just a little bit different. That's why, like, even with this, it's very surprising that there is no special box coming with it. Would have been a very nice touch. And yeah, these were $129.99. No additional discounts, unfortunately, but with this colorway, super clean. I should be able to make a little bit of profit. I'm not looking for like the craziest amount, but just really cool, especially with that toothbrush. How could you not pick this up? A very cool pair of Air Forces in my opinion, but comment down below, would you guys pick these up as a personal? Because in my opinion, they're really clean. It's that UNC blue colorway, you can't go wrong with it. Plus it's a special edition anniversary colorway. Plus, you know, when they get dirty, you got a free toothbrush to clean them. Like, it's a win-win scenario, but comment down below, let me know. Then, these are the Air Max Pluses I was talking about earlier. Just a really clean pair, black and white. You can't go wrong with it. It's like a gradient pair from black to white, so They are very, very profitable at the moment, so we bought a lot of pairs. I would say close to 20 pairs maybe. I could be wrong about that, but we did buy a lot. And when I was leaving Champs, I did notice that they were grabbing a bunch of other stuff to put on discount. So tomorrow when we go back, we might buy a bunch of more stuff, considering if these go down in price, I think a bunch of other Air Max Pluses are going to go down in price. And at that 129 price point, that is like a crazy steal considering how well these are selling for. And yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Air Max Pluses, but this colorway, super clean, super wearable, really all around just a great pair to pick up. Okay, and then finally I left the best for last. If you guys aren't following me on TikTok or Instagram, link in the description below. Go give me a follow on there. I post every day. If you're following me, then you got to see these early, and it is this pair. Crazy, we got these in store. The Jordan 4 Seafoams. Crazy pair here. Unfortunately, I couldn't find my size. The biggest pair they had was a size 10 women's, which is too small for me. I would need at least a size 12, but comment down below, guys. What do you think of this pair of Jordan 4s? Low-key, I might hold on to these just for a little bit because I do see these going up in price. Such a clean colorway here. And yeah, I'm debating holding on to these. We got two pairs, a size 10 and 9.5 women's. Very good sizes in my opinion, and yeah, very torn on if I should hold these or if I should just sell them now. But yeah, also give me a comment down below. What do you guys think? Should I hold on to these for a little bit or should I sell them? Because in my opinion, this is such a clean colorway. I really like this colorway on the 4s. Green is my favorite colorway. On every sneaker, when it has that hint of green, I need them for the personal. Most of the time. Sometimes they're pretty bad, but most of the time they just hit different. This pair especially. Yeah, and I did save the best one for last. This one, last thing we picked up today. We're gonna go one more time. Hopefully, like I said, Champs is gonna have a bunch of discounts on some Air Maxes, so let's pray that happens, because if that does happen, I could see us buying a crazy amount of shoes. And with that being said, let's waste some more time, hit up some stores one last time and see what we can pick up. So the plan of like keeping it above $10,000 might be a little far-fetched now, because we bought a crazy amount of stuff. Like I said, I saw them dropping the prices a lot in the Air Max Pluses last time, so when I came today there was a lot of stuff like on sale, so we picked up a crazy amount. Majority of this stuff is actually from Foot Locker and Champs. We did get two things from the Nike outlet, which I'm going to show you right now. First pair are these Air Max Correlate. You guys saw them last time. It is just a shadow colorway. Paid 66 bucks for them because they're still on 30% off. We did sell a good chunk of them that we had in our inventory, so we bought a bunch more, pretty much like every single size for the most part. And yeah, a shoe that's been moving really well for us. Been making around like $20 per pair profit, which is nice. And considering we bought a bunch of pairs, that's just like easy profit at the end of the day. And then the last thing we got from the Nike outlet is these Air Max 90 Gore-Texes. You've seen them before. We had a bunch of them previously. They've been selling decently well. Unfortunately, no 30% off on these. However, even at like 126 bucks, we've been able to sell them for a decent amount of profit. Some of them not that high as I would like, but some of them been selling for like that high 180 mark. So that's perfect. Can't complain about that at all. So yeah, pretty much we just restocked in a few sizes that we already sold, and they've been moving decently fast. Okay, I lied. I said we only got two things. We actually bought three things. This is the last thing, the Air Max 270 golf shoe. Now, they were crazy cheap. We got them for $51.43. We only picked up two sizes though, but if I could go back, I would buy a lot more, because I did not realize they're only 50 bucks. If I could, I would go back and buy some more. Maybe next episode we will, because these have been selling for around like that $100 mark, so we can easily double our money on these pairs alone. And yeah, that's everything we picked up from the outlet. The rest have been Champs and Foot Locker, and there is a lot of stuff, probably around $6,000, I would like to say. I'm not too sure. Again, we'll go over everything we sold and everything we bought at the end of the video, so stick to then. But before then, let's go over all the stuff. First off, we bought a bunch of Air Max Pluses. Starting with this pair, they were all the exact same price as the previous pair. All went down to $129.99. Unfortunately though, the ones that we picked up yesterday, they are the best performing out of all of these. However, the ones we bought still have some pretty good value to them, including this pair, the black and blue colorway. Very clean. And yeah, this is probably the second best performing one out of all of them, but at $129.99, they're all doing pretty well. So yeah, we got this colorway, Then this all white colorway, another really clean pair. This one I thought would be doing a lot better considering it's a very clean all white colorway. However, this one might be the worst performing out of all of them. Surprisingly, even at that 129 price point, they're not selling for that much, but they're still selling for a profit. I thought they would be a lot better. Then finally, we got this colorway in this like weird neon colorway. Another one that's not doing that great. I don't know how well this one's gonna look on camera considering it's very similar to like my green screen color, but yeah, we got a bunch of Air Max Pluses, and that's not even like the end of it. We got a bunch of 97s and 90s, so let's go over the 97s that we got today. First off, we got this one, a super clean colorway. I really like this one. However, it is a little bit of like that aged look. I'm not the biggest fan of the aged look on these Air Maxes. This one is not as bad as like some of the other ones I've seen, but it still has like that yellow oxidized look, which I'm not the biggest fan of. However, this colorway, pretty nice. And we paid the same amount, $129.99 for all these 97s that I'm gonna go show you. We actually only have 2 more pairs, so let's go over the next one, which is this one. Honestly, my least favorite out of all of them, just because they're heavily oxidized. I don't know why everyone is like so in love with this trend recently of just making the shoe look mad ugly, in my opinion. Even the insole is a little bit different. As you can see, it's a nice all blue insole. Nothing too crazy about them, but the shoe themselves, not the biggest fan of them with that super high oxidized look. But comment down below, are you guys a fan of this new trend of making every shoe look like used and old and dirty sometimes? Because I don't like it whatsoever. But let me know in the comments below, are you a fan of these? Would you pay like $136 for a shoe that already looks like mad old? Because I wouldn't. But with that being said, let's go over the best colorway we picked up today, which is this one. An all black and gray colorway, just very simple. That's why, in my opinion, it is my favorite and the best one we picked up today. They're all doing roughly the same amount ROI wise. Maybe this one, surprisingly, this one is doing like the worst out of all of them, but they're all doing pretty much the same. Very easy and good profit to be made off these ones, considering they dropped practically like half price. So we got only 2 pairs of these, but for the rest of the 97s, we bought so many pairs. But yeah, that's all the 97s we got today. We're not done yet. We still got a lot more stuff. Let's go over all the Air Max 90s we picked up today, starting with this triple black colorway, a very clean colorway. Unfortunately, these ones, they're not going to that high of an extent. To be honest, this one might have been like an L. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that much profit on these ones. They low-key might be a return just because they're not doing that great, to be honest. But these were a lot cheaper than everything else. They were $109.99, so a lot cheaper than everything else we picked up today. So hopefully I can sell these. We got 3 pairs, but to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we can't sell these and we have to return them, but hopefully we can. But with that being said, we still have 2 more pairs. Let's move over to my least favorite, which is this one, which is this pair. And you can probably already tell why it's my least favorite. It's because it's that aged look again. You know, I'm not a fan of the aged look whatsoever. It's pretty much the same one that we saw with the 97s. Even the inside, I don't know how well you can see, but even the inside is the same design as the 97s. So again, not my favorite. That aged look just really kills it. However, the back tab is like, it's super squishy. That's the only like redeeming factor to it, but other than that, not my favorite pick. However, we do have one more. It is my favorite. It probably won't be everyone's favorite. It is a little bit out there, but I really like it. So with that, let's go over to the last pair we picked up today, which is this one. And as you can see, it is this pair. All the Air Max 90s we got on $109.99, which is great. Original retail on this pair was $180, so going all the way down to $109, crazy discount. And I don't know how well you can see, but it is this like animal print one all over the shoe. Has a bunch of different animal like skins, I guess, over the shoe. Would I ever like wear this as a personal? Probably not unless I'm in like the safari, you know, just vibing up in the safari, cutting down trees with my machete. Probably wouldn't wear them other than in that very specific situation. But this is my favorite one. Not something I would wear, but a cool pair of Air Max 90s nonetheless. And yeah, that's everything we picked up today. A lot of stuff. Unfortunately, this is gonna set us back a decent amount of money considering we only had like 8,600 to play around with. But with that being said, we did sell a lot of this stuff in our inventory. So yeah, I'm very curious what our grand total is actually gonna be considering we did sell a decent amount of stuff. So With that being said, let's go over everything we sold this episode, starting with the Nike Air Max Axis in the triple white colorway. We sold the size 9.5 and 6.5 women's. Then in the Nike Pegasus Trail 3 black colorway, we sold the size 10. Then in the LeBron Witness 6 black deep royal blue, we sold the size 14. Then in the Air Force 1 mid jewel oil green, we sold the size 11. Then in the Jordan Jumpman 2 Trey Raptors, we sold the size 12.5 and both of the 10s. Then in the Nike Dunk Low Fleece Pack Honeydew, we sold the size 9 women's. Then the Jordan 12 Black Taxi, we sold the size 11 and 10. Then the Jordan 13 Playoffs, we sold the size 13 and 12. Then the Jordan 1 Mid Crafted Inside Out Black, we sold the size 13 and 12. Then in the Ice Blue colorway, we sold both of the size 7Ys. Then in the Jordan 1 Low Ice Blue Black colorway, we sold both of the 7Ys, the 6.5 and 5Y. Then in the Bordeaux colorway, we sold both of the size 7Ys. Then in the new Emerald colorway, we also sold both of the 7Ys. And yeah, like I said, we did sell a decent amount of stuff. I would ideally like to have sold a lot more, but what can you do about it? With that being said, let's go over everything we have in our inventory, including what we bought today, starting with the Puma LaMelo Ball MB02 Rick and Morty Adventures. We have a size 13, 12, 11, 2 10.5, 2 10s, and 2 6.5s. Then in the Honeycomb colorway, we have a size 10.5, 2 11s, a 12, and 13. Then in the Adidas Adilet 22 Desert Sand colorway, we have a size 8. Then the Nike LeBron 9 Low Reverse Liverpool, we have a 13, 12, 11, 10.5, and 9.5. Then in the Nike Offline 2.0 Summit White colorway, we have a size 13, 11, 2 10s, a 9.5, 9, and 8.5. The Nike Air Zoom Tempo Next Percent Flyknit in the White Hyper Violet Flash Crimson colorway in a size 8. Then in the Nike SB Alley-Oop Black Toe colorway, we have a 13, 11.5, 11, 10, and 9. Then in the black and white colorway, we have an 11 and 9. Then in the white colorway, we have an 11.5, 11, and 10. Then in the Nike Killshot 2 Leather Sail Oil Gray Gum colorway, we have a size 10.5, 2 10s, an 11, and an 11.5. Then in the Sail Gum colorway, we have a size 9, 9.5, 10, 11, and 12. Then in the Air Max 95 N7s, we have a 12 and 11. Then we have the SEM Frank Rudy colorway in a size 13, 12, 11, and 10.5. Then in the normal M Frank Rudy colorway, we have a 12, 11, and 10.5. Then in the Black Metallic Silver colorway, we have 2 9s. Then in the light bone colorway, we have a size 10.5 and 9.5. Then in the Nike Air Max 90 Terrascape Raider foam black white colorway, we have 2 size 10s, 2 8.5s, and an 8. Then in the Gore-Tex Photo Dust colorway, we have a size 13, 2 12s, 3 11.5, 2 11s, 2 10.5s, 3 10s, and a 9.5. Then in the olive black reflective colorway, we have 2 13s, a 10, 9, 8.5, and 8. Then in the Recraft triple black colorway, we have 2 13s and a 10. Then in the M Frank Rudy colorway, we have a 13 and 11. Then in the Tunnel Walk colorway, we have a 13, 12, 11, 10.5, and 3 9s. Then in the Nike Air Max 2017 Cool Gray colorway, we have a size 12, 11.5, 11, 2 10.5s, 2 10s, a 9, and 7.5. Then in the Wolf Gray colorway, we have a size 13, 12, 11, 10.5, and 10. Then in the Binary Blue Obsidian colorway, we have a size 12 and 11. Then in the Pure Platinum colorway, we have a size 13, 12, 11, 10.5, 10, 8.5, and 8. Then in the Triple Black colorway, we have a size 14, 12, 10.5, 3 10s, 2 9.5s, a 9, 8.5, 8, 7.5, and 2 7s. The Air Max Correlate White, Black, Red colorway in 11.5. Then in the Pure Platinum colorway, we have a 10.5 and 9. Then in the Club Purple Turquoise Blue colorway, we have a 9.5 women's. Then in the Black White Gray colorway, we have a size 13, 12.5, 11, 3 10.5s, a 9, 8.5, 2 8s, a 7.5, and 2 7s. Then the Nike Lunar Force 1 Duck Boot Black Gum, we have 2 10.5. Then the Air Force 1 Low Triple White, we have an 11.5. Then in the Black Royal Carbon Fiber colorway, we have 2 11s. Then in the Reflective Swoosh White Blue colorway, we have a size 13. Then in the La Familia colorway, we have a size 8. Then in the Uno colorway, we have a 12, 9.5, 7, 3 6.5s, and a 6. Then in the white black pebbled leather colorway, we have a size 13. Then in the black gold jersey mesh colorway, we have a size 13. Then in the university blue colorway, we have a 13 and 11.5. Then in the Air Max 1 crepe brown colorway, we have a size 11 and 7. Then in the George green colorway, we have a size 8 and 7. Then in the dirty denim colorway, we have 2 13s, 2 12s, 2 10.5s, a 10 and 8.5. Then in the black white black colorway, we have a size 12, 11.5, 10.5, 10. Then 2 8.5 women's and 3 9 women's. Then in the barely rose colorway in a 9 women's. Then in the triple white colorway in a size 11.5, 11, 10.5, 10, and 9.5. Then in the Nike Air Max 270 Golf black and white, we have a 13 and 8.5. Then in the violet ash multi colorway, we have a 12, 11, and 8 women's. Then in the Oreo colorway, we have an 8, 7.5, and 6 women's. Then in the black metallic silver colorway, we have a size 12, 11.5, 11, 2 10.5s, a 10, a 9.5, 2 8.5s, a 7, and 6.5 women's. Then in the white pure platinum colorway, we have a size 10, 2 10.5s, 2 11s, and 2 11.5s. Then in the triple black colorway, we have a size 10.5. Then in the Nike Air Max Plus white pure platinum, we have a size 10, 9, 8.5, 8, 7, and 6.5 women's. Then in the white grape ice colorway, we have 2 13s and 11, 10.5, 10, 2 9s, and an 8. Then in the black silver white colorway, we have 3 13s, 4 12s, 2 11.5s, 3 10.5s, a 10, 3 8.5s, and an 8. Then in the black university blue colorway, we have a 13, 12, 11, and 10.5. Then in the white colorway, we have 2 13s, 3 12s, 4 11, and 2 10.5s. Then in the spiral graph colorway, we have a 13, 10.5, 2 9.5s, and a 9. Then the Air Max Thea Mid Ale Brown colorway, we have an 11, 8, 3 7.5s, and a 7 women's. Then in the black sail colorway, we have a 9, 8.5, 3 8s, a 7.5, and 6.5 women's. Then the Nike Air Max Alpha Trainer 4 black in a size 13. Then in the React Infinity Run black iron gray, we have a 10.5 and 9.5. Then in the black colorway, we have a 13, 9, and 8. Then in the leopard colorway, we have a 9.5, 8.5, 7.5, and 5.5 women's. Then in the flash crimson Baltic blue colorway, we have an 11 and 8. Then in the wolf gray colorway, we have a 14, 12, 2 11.5s, 3 11s, 2 10.5s, a 10, 9.5, 3 9s, and 8.5 and 8. Then in the black and white colorway, in women's, we have 3 8.5s, 3 8s, 2 7.5s, 2 7s, a 9 and 9.5. Then in men's, we have 3 13s, 2 12s, 3 11.5s, 3 11s, 2 10.5s, 3 10s, 2 9.5s, 5 9s, 4 8.5s, and 1 8. Then in the black university red hyper jade, we have a 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, and 9.5. Then in the black safari hyper pink colorway, we have 3 13s and 4 10s. The Nike Air Structure OG white neo teal colorway, we have 2 13s, 3 12.5s, 3 12s, 3 11.5s, 3 11, 4 10.5s, 3 10s, a 9.5, 2 9s, and 8.5, 8s, and 7.5. Then in the black smoke gray colorway, we have 3 13, 5 12s, an 11.5, 11, 2 10.5s, a 9.5, 9, 8.5, and 8. Then in the Nike Free RN black anthrite colorway, we have a 13, 12.5, 12, 11.5, 10.5, 2 10s, a 9.5, 2 9s, and 2 8.5s. Then in the black white ombre colorway, we have a 10.5, 9.5, and 9. Then in the wolf gray colorway, we have an 11, 10.5, 10, and 9.5. Then the Nike Pegasus Trail 3 in the triple black colorway. Then in the peach cream colorway, we have a size 10 women's, 2 9.5s, a 9, 2 8.5s, an 8, 2 7.5s, a 7, and 6 women's. Then in the panda colorway, we have an 8 women's. Then in the phantom metallic gold colorway, we have an 8.5, 9.5, and 2 10 women's. Then in the terry swoosh colorway, we have a 10, 9.5, 9, 8.5, and 5 women's. Then in the light smoke gray colorway, we have a 6 and 7 women's. Then in the Arizona State colorway, we have a 13 and 12. Then in the pink Oxford colorway, we have a 10, 2 9 women's, 2 8.5s, a 7.5, 7, and 6.5 women's. Then in the Next Nature Rift blue colorway, we have a size 10. Then in the Essential Paisley Pack Barely, we have a size 7.5 women's. Then in the Miami Hurricanes colorway, we have a size 13. Then Then in the Deadpool colorway, a 6.5Y. Then in the Desert Camo colorway, we have a 10, 9, 2 8.5s, and 2 8 women's. Then in the Anthrite White colorway, we have a size 12, 11, 10, 9.5, and 9. The Jordan Westbrook White Metallic Silver in a size 11. Then in the Jordan 13 University Blue, we have 8 13s, 4 12s, 6 11.5s, 6 11s, a 10.5, and 9.5. Then in the French Blue colorway, we have a 6.5 and 6Y. Then in the Jordan 11 Cherries, we have a size 10, 8.5, 8, 6Y, 2 4.5Ys, 3 4Ys, and 2 3.5Ys. Then in the Jordan 11 Low IE Light Orwood Brown colorway, we have 2 13s. Then in the Jordan 9 Fire Reds, we have 3 13, 6 12s, 6 11s, 11 10.5s, 2 9.5s, 3 9s, 2 8.5s, and 8 and 7. Then in the Jordan 7 Citruses, we have a size 12, 2 11s, a 10.5, and 10. Then in the Barely Grape colorway, we have a size 7, 2 6.5Ys, and 2 6Ys. Then in the Jordan 6 Georgetowns, we have 6 13s, 2 12s, 6 11, 2 10.5s, a 10, 2 9.5s, a 9, and 8. Then in the Jordan 5 UNCs, we have 4 size 13s, a 12, and a size 8. Then in the Jordan 4 Midnight Navy, we have 2 size 5Ys. Then in the Seafoam colorway, we have a size 10 and 9.5 women's. Then in the Dark Iris colorway, we have a size 12, 11.5, and 11. Then in the White Cement Reimagine, we have 2 4Ys. Then in the Pink Violet colorway, we have a 10 women's. Then in the Canvas Iris Whisper Sail colorway, we have a 6 women's. The Craft Inside Out Black colorway in a size 8. Then in the Jordan 1 Low True Blues, we have a size 13, 11.5, and 10. Then in the Marina Blue colorway in a size 6 women's. Then in the Concord colorway, we have a size 13, 12, 4 11s, 2 10s, 3 7Ys, a 6.5, 6, 5, and 4Y. Then in the Game Royal colorway, we have a 12. Then in the Stealth colorway, we have a size 10, 9, 8.5, 8, and 7.5 women's. The Jordan 1 High True Blue, we have a 5Y. Then in the Jordan 1 High Taxis, we have 2 7Ys, 4 13, and a size 8. Then in the Lost and Found colorway, we have a size 1.5Y, 2 1Ys, a 5C, and a 7C. The Stealth colorway in a 6 and 4Y. Then in the NYC to Paris colorway, we have a 7.5. Then the White Black Volt University Gold colorway in a 9.5. Then in the Starfish colorway, we have a 7.5, 7, 2 6.5s, 2 6, a 5.5, and 5 women's. And finally, the Jordan 1 High Dior's in a size 9.5. And yeah, if you are new here and you're wondering how we only had like $8,000, that is why, because we have literally tens of thousands of dollars in our inventory. Plus we have another inventory of like stuff we're holding on to as an investment. All the stuff that I just listed before is a bunch of shoes that we have in our inventory which we're actively trying to sell. There's like around maybe $20,000 worth of shoes that we have in our inventory which we're holding on to, like I said, as an investment, but a lot of that stuff we're gonna eventually sell coming up pretty soon here. And yeah, that is it. Thank you guys for watching to the end of the video. If you are new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you don't miss any of my newest videos. We're not completely done yet. We're gonna go over our brand new tally now. So with all the stuff that we bought and everything we sold, I honestly have no idea what our grand total is gonna be. Let's waste no more time, see what our grand total is for next episode, and roll our brand new tally right now.